Yeah, right, guys, just bear with me. Okay. Okay. Things have fixed themselves. Let me know if the stream's a bit laggy or not. I had a message just pop up, but it seems to have maybe sorted itself out. Let me get the links out, and then we can kind of dive straight into it. Um, I've had a very, very, very nice trade pull up. Very, very nice trade. So let's see if we can get anything really in crypto. I mean, we closed our FTM trade not too long ago, 60% profit. Profit is profit. The big one was the gold trade. Just look at that. Okay, again, this is why it's. I mean, it's worthwhile coming and joining these live streams. You get trades like that. Um, we pulled in 780 pips. Huge, 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 huge move. Um, so yeah, well done to anyone that got involved on that one. Now it does seem like for some reason the quality here isn't too great. Okay, now it's switched up. Yeah, as mentioned, if the stream kind of plays up a little bit, let me know in the comment section, and then I'll see whether I can get anything kind of sorted. Should be all good. Hopefully, one thing comes to mind. Experience. Okay, yeah. So cashed in on gold trade, fantastic. Um, Unfortunately, obviously, this morning, our pound dollar trade, I mean, tapped us out. Okay, so we then said somewhere, I can't remember, it was somewhere around this region. We had kind of this double top kind of forming with our stop loss just above. We came and tapped us out. Now it's come to the next level of resistance, so we could potentially be looking at a short here, playing out like this. Nice tight stop loss again on the top. It's come to this key kind of previous level of support turning into new resistance. So, yes, taking a look now, think it might be worth kind of cashing in. That would be great. Let me just have a little look. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just look into something. Uh, Igwe. Don't know if I butchered that name, but yeah, hi, welcome, welcome, welcome. Feel free to ask us anything in the chat. More than happy to go through any TA with you, any questions. That's all good. That's the whole point of these live streams. Try and tackle some of, well, try to make money as well as kind of clarify any questions you may have. Now it looks like I think we're gonna take a short here on pound dollar. Okay, we're gonna go back in, see what we can get. It's come back up, so let's see if we can get anything. So we're taking a short here, guys, just to let you know. Let's see if we can cash something in. Like I said, I mean that oil trade was just unreal. Sorry, gold trade, not oil trade. Um, yeah, just amazing, just amazing. Just broke that trend line perfectly, and it just came down. One, two, two, seven. Let's go for that. Okay. Yeah, the FX space really, I mean, it's been a little bit quiet compared to the crypto this month. But nonetheless, doing fantastic. Um, yeah, the crypto has just really been popping, especially kind of in the middle section of the month. Has just been really nice to trade. So yeah, we just went and capitalized on that movement. And this month is the third best month we've had on record. Insane amount of gains. You'll see that come out when we do the report later on. Kind of at the end of the month. So I think this weekend. So Friday we'll bring out the report. But yeah, I mean both sides of things have been doing really well. The FX as well as the crypto. Really well. So let's see what we can get. This is kind of its final point. There's a little bit of liquidity above, so I mean, we've got our stop loss at 1.227. I mean, you could actually push it a little bit higher, maybe. Um, this is having a tendency to overextend a little bit. So we'll see how things kind of play out. Hopefully, we just stick to this and then we actually come down. But yeah, we'll keep a close eye on things. Now, crypto's just been extremely just quiet. Not much movement on that end. Um, so yeah, I mean we'll continue looking, but we took a short for this continuation back down. We cashed in 60%. It's not too bad. Profit. I mean, as mentioned, profit is profit. We'll roll with the shots, but just very slow price action. This could very much break and come down to this next area of liquidity. FTM looking pretty good. It's been moving quite volatile. Um, so that would be quite a realistic sort of spot to take some profit if things do break down lower. Now the dollar is causing a little bit of an implication. Again, as mentioned in the update that we sent out yesterday, we're not expecting crazy amounts of movement, and the dollar to potentially push towards this top here at 103.4. Um, Bringing crypto a little bit further down. There is still a little bit more space. If I go over to the other Bitcoin chart, bear with me. I think it's this one. Oh no, I was on the right one. There's still space for things to actually come down towards that trend line, right? This is kind of your kind of key pivotal point on the lower time frame for Bitcoin. As you can see, we've got resistance and then turning into a new support. So that's the area which you want to keep an eye on. You've got obviously your short term kind of diagonal trend line acting as resistance. So again, prices are just going to be up and down, and then maybe either break up or break down. This is kind of your longer term trend line that we're looking at for holding and eventually breaking maybe towards the end of the week. But again, it does depend on data that we get out. Um, so yeah, I mean, let's see what we can get. There isn't much movement in the crypto space. We did mention this yesterday in the update yesterday that the way that the economic calendar is structured for this week, your traditional markets are going to make a little bit more movement. There's going to be a little bit more opportunity from Monday to Wednesday. Well, in all fairness, throughout the whole week. But crypto, the opportunities in crypto are more than likely to be between Thursday, well, on Thursday and Friday, because those are the 2 days that you get heavier data coming out. So yeah, I mean it's following the exact plan as you can see. I mean we capitalized heavily on that gold trade that we sent out on the live stream this morning. So yeah, fantastic. We're coming to that liquidity area, so I'm probably expecting a move back up. But what a beautiful trade! What a beautiful trade. Now we did cash out a little bit earlier. Just as soon as prices started to kind of struggle a little bit, so we cashed out and ran with our profits. 780 pips is a huge trade, huge trade. So the week is starting fantastic now. As mentioned, we did take a small L on pound dollar this morning. Things just pushed straight back up. So they were looking nice on this move back down, pushed straight back up. So yeah, we've come to the next area of resistance. As you can see, previous support broke out. Now coming testing as new resistance potentially. So we've gone in on another short. So let's see how things kind of develop on this end. But yeah, let's see. Should fall in line with the XY's kind of movement. So pushing up towards here. So it should go hand in hand with things. So fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Ideally, we want to try and capitalize something here on crypto, but just really not much happening, unfortunately. So we'll look at oil. There's always some opportunities on oil to capitalize on. So last week, I mean, we caught that short right there. See this short here? We caught that on our live stream. Um, Fantastic shorts. Very quick reaction back up. And in yesterday's update, again, we did speak about what we could potentially have playing out here. It's setting up some nice structure, so we could actually make that move up here towards that next area, about 70.3. Let me have a little look on the lower time frame, see what's happening. But I mean, as you can see, that's the TA is going quite nicely to the price action that we're getting. Yeah, seeing a little bit of momentum picking up here, which is nice to see. See if we can get an entry potentially here. Be good. See how we got that nice cup in action there. Ideally, I want it to just pull back a little bit. I don't. It is looking like we could see a nice push up. Ideally, I just want to see a little bit of a pullback. Maybe push up to this area here and then just pull back, test, and then go again. That would be a very nice entry for that break. So that's ideally what I'm looking for. Ideally. Those that are just joining us on stream, welcome, welcome, welcome. Also, thank you for the likes and follows. Very much appreciated. Ba, ba, da, ba, ba. Yeah, we're probably going to be on this stream for a few hours by the looks of it. Um, yeah, let's see what we can get. Maybe we can get something nice on for the New York Open. But yeah, that gold trade was fantastic, fantastic. We'll also get a market update out for you all after this live stream. Again, as mentioned, market updates are no longer on TradingView. But yeah, we will get one out. We're just letting some price action play out. Again, we sent some market update out yesterday, just discussing the forecast for the week and what to expect. Go through the economic calendar. But yeah, today we'll just do a top up after the stream. It's very weak price action currently. Yeah, see if we can, if this can pull back nicely. Because I mean, the next real liquidity area for the pound dollar is all the way up here. And then that makes it not look very nice to trade. So ideally you want it to stick to this area and fall down. That's where that previous structure comes into play. So we'll see how things kind of hold up. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Thank you for the likes, guys. Thank you for the likes. Just crazy. Just look at that. Bam. This is where all the liquidity is held. This is where the support's going to come in, just around here. Okay, so it could actually, I mean, it's still got room, but this is your first area of liquidity. It's probably going to hold and maybe move back up. But I mean, it could also very much come all the way down. It's about between 1938 1930 is the following area. There's some nice structure to go off in terms of previous resistance here, turning into new support. So yeah, I'm looking at this area here. The target that we had on that trade was 1954, which would have been at that 200 moving average. But obviously we've breached that. Now we're kind of entering this liquidity area. Again, we pointed this out on that live stream. So we could potentially see bam and price shoot back up. So it's worth keeping a close eye on this zone. That's where you got a decent amount of support. But guys, I mean, what a move! What a move! You can get rid of some of this TA now as well. Amazing. Yeah, looks like crypto's. Oh, there you go. You got a rebound, didn't we? Alright, let's have a little look if we can get in on a long position then. Looks like we're going to make a push up higher. I mean, FTM doesn't look too bad, in all fairness. What's been quite volatile, I mean, APT's been looking quite nice. Mask for sure has rebounded a few times very, very, very nicely. That's your structure, that's your trend line that you're looking at. This is the current one here. Are we going to break through? That's the question. And I literally just play it to that top. I won't even chase for anything larger. What are we looking like? What are we looking like? Thank you for the follows, guys. Thank you. Let's see what we can get. By the way, if anyone in here has got your eyes on any sort of crypto pairs that look like they're about to go, let's have them. Let's have a little look together. I mean, Mask has been so volatile. It's been a good pick recently. Litecoin 2 has been looking good. Just need something that looks like got some nice volume picking up, the momentum's behind it. looks okay. I think I'm gonna keep my eye on Mask, to be honest. So I'm gonna look at OP. OP normally moves quite nicely. Not liking it. So, yeah. I still quite like the look of Ape. Now we've attempted to pull a couple of long positions on Ape. However, I mean, as you can see, it's just been up, down, up, down, up, down. But it's looking quite good. I think the way that we will just play it is, I mean, we had 4.59 ish. I think we should move it maybe there as the longer term target. Edward, hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Um, okay, we'll let gold do its thing. We've cashed in on gold this morning, so we don't need to really mess about with that anymore. Um, give me that nice setup. I mean, this looks quite nice. Mask does look quite nice, and I do like kind of the look of the ape. It's holding on to that just very weak buy side. I don't like, but could maybe get a move towards that top there, and then continue come down, push up. Question is can we get ramping up? So ideally, what we're looking for. We just want to see some of that volume start to come in, start to really kind of push things. What's the question with this? We're still holding. Nice, nice, nice. Thoughts on AMC? I'll have a little look. Yeah, oil's pushing up. Ideally, I want to see a push up to 70.1 and then pull back, test that level up for and support, and then make that break. But yeah, we'll keep a close eye on oil. AMC. Let's have a little look. We've got a clear trend line, ain't we? Decent structure to play off, in all fairness. Are we expecting any news from AMC? Let me have a little look. I mean, that's a decent amount of buy side coming out. I can't see any news. The latest thing is The Walking Dead, right? Which could be quite big. Suggest to buy right now. I mean, I mean, from the news that I can see, it's quite positive news. I mean, they've got obviously the deal with The Walking Dead, Dead City should bring a bit of interest. That's probably this, right? Um, should you buy right now? I mean, the risk reward isn't too bad. Um, you either set it just beneath this candle, or you can set it beneath the 200 moving average. It's likely if it pushes up. I mean, you're probably looking at a test of this level of resistance. Yeah, see how we're kind of compressing in price. Now again, this could very much break either down or break up. Okay, it could go either way. Um, that buy side volume coming in on there. I mean that was the end of week candles, so naturally you're going to get a little bit of volume propping up, right? Um, but I mean, from what I can see, is it's not looking too bad in terms of news. Very little sell side volume coming in on this move here, especially. Now that 200 there. So I mean, yeah, you can give it a pop if you want. If you want to be kind of, if you want to place a kind of be a bit more conservative, then you place it just underneath here. If you want to give it a little bit more room to play, and if you're going to essentially if you're going to be on top of the trade, then I'd set it wider. And if things look like they're ramping down or ramping up to go down, then you can get out a little bit sooner. But yeah, that's your structure, that's your resistance, that's your trend line you're playing to. Now, bear in mind that this could very much break up higher or break down lower. Okay, if we break through here, then you're looking at 4.85 as your next area for resistance. That's if we break through this area here. If we break through this trend line, I mean, this could really come down. You've got one level and kind of two levels there. That's if it comes down. If it goes up, you can be looking at that area there as well as this area here. So yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Just keep an eye on. I've only just done a brief search on potential news. I don't know. Let me have a little look at MC next earnings. Let me have a little look. Sorry, let me get on to Yahoo. AMC closed the most recent trading day at $4.47, making no change from the previous trading session. And this change lagged the S&P's 500 daily gain of 0.56%. You know, the coming into today's shares, movie theater operator had lost 28.25% in the past month. In that time, consumer discretionary sector lost 4.3. I don't want that. Just want to know where next day is. I'll have a look at DOT for you in just a second. Bear with me. Let me just have a little look at what's happening with AMC. Are we expecting earnings? It is the final week of the month, so Okay, here we go. Um, okay. I'm just trying to find out whether we've got when the earnings date or the earnings report for MC is. I mean, it's the last week of the quarter as well as the month, so I presume we should be getting earnings coming out. Um, Earnings announcement for MC May 8th. Okay, so that's apparently the next one, March 2022. Have a look on AMC. I don't know why it's not coming up on the Nasdaq website. AMC March 2023 earnings. What's happening here? Okay. Okay. Are we going up? Are we going down? Okay, so the earnings date for AMC is May 8th, the next one. So let's have a little look. So we've still got a while. Last earnings came in less or lower than expected. So, I mean, hence why we got kind of the overall kind of downtrend. Um, Low estimate, high estimate, what we're at. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it does look like we could rebound. It's been filled. We're at a low. It's just really not had a good time going, has it? Um, but it's also got a good chance it could come down lower. If you're gonna trade it, okay, maybe yes, okay, we could get a push up higher, but it's going to be very short term. This is potentially setting up for a much larger drop. It's not looking healthy on the higher time frame at all. Now we're kind of holding this level here, as you can see. But yeah, I'd trade it if it pushes up. It's going to be a very short push. I mean, even in terms of buy side, yeah, we got some nice buy side here, but look at how quick we kind of pull back and cancelled all the gains there. We're not getting enough buy side on this move. We should be getting some buy side. See how you get buy side here, coming in quite hot. That's what you want to see. Kind of these periods where you're kind of consolidating, you're not getting that. So I think it's a pretty risky trade to go long. I would probably look at maybe looking at this trend line breaking and taking a short towards $3. Very short term, there's a chance that we could push back up. Um, but I mean, medium term, it's still looking very very weak. So yeah, just be careful with that. Um, yeah, short term, very short term, maybe push here. But I mean, just look at the buyers, how we're kind of declining overall from the buyers as we're attempting to make that push up. Um, so yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good, especially on that higher time frame. I think this is probably your end goal, about $3. I mean, there's some levels that you obviously need to break through. But yeah, you're not. See, and when you're kind of building on the bottom, you should be looking at and getting increasing uh buy side, or at least kind of like large buy side. That's kind of very much an anomaly compared to the average overall volume within that kind of kind of space. And you're not getting that. So you got a little bit of a range. See how you got top of your range and your bottom of your range, and then you got this natural trend line. Okay, so I think prices are just going to continue tweeting, and then bam, just break through that trend line and start making their way towards the bottom of that range again, and potentially breaking and making a much lower move. Now, obviously, from what I can see, the earnings are coming out in May, so you still got a bit of time. So it's relatively going to be impacted on data coming out from the US, essentially. So any worsening data in terms of CPI, interest rates, anything like that, it's not going to be good. So yeah, keep a close eye. Let's see how things kind of play out. But now to go back, so we got Polkadot, right? Let's have a little look. Polkadot. So yeah, I mean, those that have been following us, we've been kind of trading Polkadot and Link quite closely, especially Link. Link has been a little bit more volatile than Polkadot. Now, obviously, they're both in the same sort of industry inside crypto, so they move very closely together, right? But Link has been showing a little bit more volatility than Polkadot. Okay, so that's your natural trend line. And then you've got your base. Now, very, very, very little volume. Very little volume. So, let's have a little look. Let's kind of gauge as to where we could potentially move to. Now, overall in the market, especially on Bitcoin, the way that we're looking at things is actually moving in an upward fashion, leading to the end of the week where we could actually potentially make the break of this trend line here, right? So Bitcoin dominance is coming off a very strong top. Let me touch on that for you so it kind of makes sense for those that obviously are kind of new to this channel and don't regularly follow our analysis. Okay, as you can see, Bitcoin dominance is coming off that top. See this top here? Now let me go on the higher time frame. You'll be able to see this range that Bitcoin dominance has been moving within. Has been ongoing since May 2021. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so May 2021 has been moving in that range for a very, very, very long time. We're now at the very top of that range. Now it's make or break. Okay, so a big move is on the horizon, whether you like it or not. Now it looks like, and the way that I'm looking at things on the lower time frame is a move up here and actually a pullback, maybe set in this space. Now I don't think we're going to see a huge breakout. Now I could be mistaken, but on this pullback here, the altcoins are now going to pick up obviously market share. Obviously, the Bitcoin dominance is losing traction or losing the market share. So the altcoins are taking more space. Um, so whichever direction Bitcoin moves within, you're going to see these altcoins really, really push much more heavily to in that same direction. Um, but yeah, I'm looking at things kind of moving slowly up back towards the top of the range, and then eventually actually breaking through this trend line. Now, when kind of on the lower time frame, but not, we're at this kind of area of previous resistance, new support, potentially breaking through here. But I do think we're going to come at least test this trend line a little bit, well, at least once more before actually making that bit of a larger push. So we just need to be careful when kind of trading. It's kind of in the middle zone, really. So yeah, whenever it's not really bouncing off a key level or not, you need to be careful. Now, going back to a dot, okay, which is ultimately started this all off. 4 hour isn't really showing that much, except very, very, very low volume. See, we're overall moving down, and look at the volume. Just, I mean, it's not. It's just very low, very, very low. So, what does that kind of indicate? It's indicating as prices are actually falling, um, as it's falling, your sellers are failing to strengthen. Okay, so realistically, if things were actually going to break much lower, you'd get sell side picking up in momentum, which is failing to do so now. You're also not getting any buy side, so it could also be the case that okay, we make a decent move, a kind of an impulse move to downside where it then sparks buy side to pick up and spark kind of momentum from the buy side to actually make the break, or because there is very low volume or very low sell side volume coming in, weak momentum from the sellers that okay, we could actually just build some structure and the buy side starts to come in, pick on momentum and make that impulse leg up and breaking through. But yeah, at the moment, crypto's just essentially building on structure. There isn't anything clear to take right now. Now, this could break. Okay, if this does break here, you're going to see some of these crypto pairs make a move. But yeah, I mean, in terms of Polkadot, it's just kind of hold off. Um, Overall, it's kind of just ranging. It's a very large range that we're moving in. Overall, I do think things are going to come much lower. But again, it could be the case. I mean, this is kind of your range here, right? So let me just make that clearer for you. So you got your top, you've got your bottom here. Okay, so let me get rid of this. So essentially, that's your range that things are going to move in, and then I do think things are going to move much, much, much lower, and that builds a much wider range as well. But that's essentially what you're looking at here. Now it could be the case. Okay, we breach, make a move maybe towards this area here. See how there's like nice liquidity here, and then make a move down. But again, there's nothing quite clear that's standing out right now, and that's going to tell me okay, things are moving. Now, yeah, it's patience. You gotta just stay patient. It's not positively kind of structuring up or negatively structuring up right now. It's actually just moving in a sideways direction. So, um, yeah, we kind of keep a close eye on volume. If volume starts to pick up, whether it be sell side or buy side, that's going to be a good indication that okay, this momentum starting to pick up for a breakout in price. Issue is Bitcoin dominance, which goes down, combined with Bitcoin itself going down. Money moves into stables, old suffering even more. Um, yeah, you're right there. I've got a little. I did a little. Let me go and find it. Bear with me. Copy. Bear with me. So Bitcoin dominance increase and a Bitcoin price increase equals kind of the altcoins relatively moving quite heavily. Okay, it's not alt season essentially. For alt season, you want Bitcoin dominance coming off kind of these key levels. Now, bear in mind, Bitcoin dominance has a bit of a lag. Okay, and it's all about kind of analyzing. Okay, where are my key levels? Okay, um, and kind of impulse move. So, for instance, here, see how we got a pullback and then we got that impulse move. After it, there's a lag between that move and then kind of the effect that it has on the alt. So just bear that in mind. But it's a very good way and kind of chart to keep an eye on. Okay, essentially it kind of gives you guidance as to okay, should I be chasing for higher targets? Should I be expecting a large move here? It's a good guider in terms of that. Um, Now, for kind of negative effects on price or in the altcoin market, a decrease in Bitcoin dominance, so for instance, a pullback here, and a decrease in price is going to result a kind of a decrease in the altcoin market as well. But it kind of moves in a cycle. So you will get that scenario playing out, okay, and then things will kind of recover a little bit, and then they'll fall. They'll go back into kind of because there's kind of a little bit a pivot point essentially. Okay, so as Bitcoin dominance is falling down, okay, your Bitcoin is taking more. Sorry, your altcoins are taking more market share as Bitcoin prices also fall down. Okay, and the um, altcoins kind of fall at a lesser pace. Really, Bitcoin takes the first move in the market. Okay, then it starts to consolidate, and then the altcoins make their actual official move, and then that's where you get Bitcoin dominance starting to push up because Bitcoin's had its first impulse move, which has kick-started essentially a kind of the sell off in the altcoins, and then Bitcoin kind of range a little bit and then start to pull back and fall as well. And then what you'll get is the altcoins will then actually really start to move um, with the market. Okay, so an increase in Bitcoin dominance with a decrease in Bitcoin price will essentially kind of be blood on the streets for the altcoin market. But yeah, essentially, it's what you're saying. Kind of the money movements between your Bitcoin and then your altcoins. So again, it's understanding kind of the cycle that it moves within, and then kind of what's happening with your Bitcoin dominance, which will give you the indication as to okay, how things are kind of where the money is kind of moving, how it's moving. Um, but yeah, I've got a little diagram that I put together. I don't think it's going to copy and paste very well on. Oh yeah, it did. Yeah, so that's what I've got. Now it hasn't kind of split properly, um, but that's a rule of thumb. Uh, so it's not as simple as that. Obviously, you do need to um, kind of work with it. But yeah, our members have got that. So just a rule of thumb to help you. But essentially, okay, it's at that key level of resistance, and yeah, you're going to see a big move because the money flow is going to change. Now we're getting a little bit of a break up higher. Let me see if we can see. I'm just not getting much at all. Da, 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 da. I like the look of Sushi as well. Sushi was looking good, just even on the higher time frame was looking really nice. Um, Could potentially see a nice trade here. Just straight to that 50. I wouldn't even miss about too much. Could even go up here as well.
Okay, Mike Wilson, thank you for the brief this morning. Hugely valuable. He is, of course, with Morgan Stanley. I thought you were vulnerable. I thought Dr. Wilson provided wonderful Monday therapy.
Well, I'm gonna go long here on sushi, see what we can get. Yeah.
This will be a discussion to continue, and we will do that. Stay with us. This is Bloomberg Surveillance on radio, on television. Now with the latest news from New York City and around the world, here's Michael.
And I've taken a long on Mask as well. I'm gonna see if we can get that breakout. So we've got two positions here. So let's see how things play out.
A group of more than 175 former federal prosecutors have released an open letter denouncing Donald Trump's incendiary attack.
Do you just need to be careful if things do push straight back into structure? Okay, so that's essentially, I mean, until we kind of broken through this area, still got a chance of things pulling back.
Intimidate Bragg, and that a democracy cannot fight crime and criminals if that activity is allowed to happen. In San Francisco, I'm Ed Baxter, Bloomberg Radio.
In Israel, tens of thousands of people took to the streets over the weekend after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu fired his defense minister for challenging his plan to reshape.
I think we've caught now. Yeah.
Protesters say they no longer have faith in the government.
We all have to fight for our rights because of the plans of Benjamin Netanyahu that want to turn this nation into a dictatorship.
In a statement, the White House said it was deeply concerned by the
See if we can get pushed up. Just be careful.
state of emergency has been issued for Mississippi after severe storms and tornadoes killed over 2 dozen people and injured dozens of others. Live from the Bloomberg Interactive Broker Studios, this is Global News 24 hours a day, powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in over 120 countries. I'm Michael Barr, and this is Bloomberg.
145 over 92.
180 over 111. I had a heart attack and cardiac arrest and then a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Lowering your high blood pressure could save you from a heart attack or stroke. If you stop your treatment plan, restart it, or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you, start taking the right steps.
Trying to get better. Go away and ask.
Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
Wake up and text. Text and keep. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Text and be late to work. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working. Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit stoptextsstopwrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Bloomberg Television, first in global business news.
Some markets matter, and they are moving.
Deals that should know globally.
From New York to San Francisco,
Headlines involving Twitter.
from London to Hong Kong,
It has been a week of huge gyration.
the world turns to Bloomberg for market-moving headlines.
Let's see what we can get. Right, pound dollar is just not moving. very nice. It's not. It's not treating us nice.
People's savings are secure, and even those beyond the $250,000, the FDIC is guaranteed them. The American taxpayer is not going to have to pay a penny. The banks are in pretty good shape. What's going on in Europe and
I'm gonna take a long on oil.
States? In pretty good shape as well.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Four once in a lifetime crises here since 2007. John Farrow, it's a crisis, is on assignment here for 3 days. Wishing him safe travels. And it's Lisa Bramwitz and Tom Keene on Bank Recovery Monday. I guess that's what it is. I mean, the fact is, Chris Whalen tweeting out about First Citizens putting somebody out of their misery. There's a set of good newses here for Secretary Yellen.
And the absence of bad news. And I think that's important because what really spooked the market
I
was
like
a
that.
sense
Yes,
of
it's
a
a huge
series of
two
steps
crises.
that really were seemed to be linked together, even if they weren't. And that was what gave rise to this narrative of some larger concern.
The narratives to get the 2-year yield to 4%. We're not there, 3.95%. The narratives to get oil above 70. It is $68, $69. West Texas Intermediate is now 70.18, and S&P futures up 0.7%. I thought the discussion with Tina Fordham was stunning. It was chilling. It was like literally back to my youth.
Well, there are a lot of people who are concerned about the weakening of judicial power in Israel and then the firing
Right.
of the one judiciary who stood up to Netanyahu. And that is what happened, and that's what's caused the eruption of these protests with real concern over the stability of the democracy going forward. And that, I think, is really underpinning
Right.
what is driving so much attention to this.
We're going to get to the bank crisis chat in Washington. Anne Marie Horton is, of course, encyclopedic on it, but always so well read in on the international relations of the moment. I was thunderstruck, Anne Marie, in talking to Tina Fordham about the illusions here of France and particularly Israel, back to my youth, of Sadat, the assassination of Rabin. Help us with Jews in America, and particularly conservative, more Orthodox Jews in America, which Pew Research of New Jersey says, you know what, these people are very Republican. Help us with the lobby dynamics you're going to observe on this tumultuous Monday in Washington.
Well, I think it puts a lot of people in different positions, right? Because what you see in Israel is backlash against what Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu wants to do. Even President Herzog has come out.
Yeah, let's see what we can get. Okay, so we're getting in on some positions here. Lovely, lovely, lovely. By the way, guys, also thank you very much for the likes and follows. Very much appreciated. Let's see if we can make money together.
Of just overflowing outrage when
It's looking okay. Just need that nice push. And yeah, just gotta stay a little bit patient here. If things kind of push straight back into structure, then I guess the long positions are kind of cancelled.
constituencies here, which we have seen lean Republican, especially during the Trump administration, but potentially with what's going on in Israel, this is not something that Jews in America want to wake up to and see on their television screens.
The enormity of this, folks, for those on radio, the imagery that we saw, Lisa Bramwitz, 600,000 plus was one estimate.
Wow.
Yesterday, and you remember the purpose of the show? Like 3, 4 years, it was that mass to the streets full as well. I mean, I guess that's enough on Israel, and we didn't even get to France there, but there's still a lot of banking issues going on in the hoarder world.
Well, and that's where the focus is, probably more
Yeah.
than geopolitics, and it has been. And we do know that there are going to be hearings coming up, I believe, on Wednesday. And Marie, what are we going to glean from them? And I know a lot of people would say nothing. They're just hearings. They're grandstanding. They're talking about we are mad, something bad happened. But I am wondering whether it gives any indication of the willingness
Are you making a move? That's the question.
or
Come
deposit
on.
some of the other things that people were talking
Come
about last
on.
week.
Well, you got the ethos and tone of
We
it
have this
again.
moved over here. Beautiful.
Lawmakers are going to be very upset that something broke, right, in the financial system, and they want to point the finger who was responsible. So Wednesday, when you have these regulators like the FDIC chairman and also the vice chair for supervision at the Fed, Michael Barr, show up to the House Financial Services, there's going to be very pointed questions about what went wrong, who should have been supervising this. Was it the hands potentially of a lack of oversight at the Fed in Washington? supervision at the San Francisco Fed. And then obviously you're going to try to also potentially garner some more questions and concerns about the state of the economy. Are there more underlying risks to other banks because you have the Fed hiking interest rates so aggressively? And then potentially a discussion about the FDIC cap, which is what the hands of lawmakers can actually change.
Yeah.
And I think this gets back to the tension of last week with Secretary
Making a move. Come on.
blanket change.
See what we're doing.
When you look at the insurance cap,
Okay, Musk is at break even.
Congress, not something the Treasury Secretary can come out and do.
But these hearings are probably a non-issue because there's very little.
Where's my entry to do 6.0? Yeah, 60.074. Okay, sushi's coming into profit. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I mean, sushi was a strong break through that trend line. Very nice. So let's see if we can get a little bit of a rebound back up. Be nice. Okay, now, right, I'm going to add some margin here on oil. Let's come to that trend line that we wanted it to kind of come down and hold. I'm going to just give it a little bit more room and actually just move it just a tad. 69.695 as the new stop loss, and like I said, I'm adding some margin here to my oil trades. Okay. Beautiful. Okay.
Emery Horton, thank you so much. Our Chief Washington correspondent, of course, with a modest program in the afternoon. What's it called? Balance of Power. Thank you so much, Emery Horton. With Joe Matthew, I should point out. Futures up 29, Dow futures up 219, NASDAQ up 0.5%, is all 21.47 on the VIX. What an odd Monday in that it's all clear Monday, but as Emery just said, no, it's not.
Well, there's still angst out there, and there's still a feeling of the next shoe to drop. I mean, Mike Wilson talking about the potential for earnings pressure in a substantial way, and this to me is the unknown. This to me is the lack of immediate histrionics, but longer-term pain that people are trying to wrap their heads around. This idea of what happens if credit conditions tighten materially, what happens if the lag effects are more material than people had previously thought, and all of a sudden you start to feel them in a much more significant way.
And the other thing is the surprises out there.
I mean, sushi's looking quite good. It's in a little bit of a prop back up. See if we can break through this level here. This is kind of your key pivotal lower time frame area to break through. As you can see just here, previous area of support into new resistance. That's your area that you want to break. Again, I mean, it could very much overextend ever so slightly. There's your liquidity just above. That's your order block. So essentially you want it to really, really ramp up for that break. Now, I mean, Bitcoin's looking okay. We do need it to break through relatively soon. If it starts to struggle, it's just going to come straight back into structure, which, I mean, is not going to be looking good. Yeah, this is pulling back a little bit. This is still looking good for a long position to continue back up. What's my new averaged out? Yeah, let's see how things kind of hold up. Should be okay. We need this to really start to ramp up though.
access to a comprehensive range of holistic investment solutions you can customize according to your client's goals. Welcome to freedom of flexibility. Welcome to Commonwealth. To learn more, visit commonwealth.com. Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA SIPC, or registered investment advisor.
What is dedication?
You right, Victor? Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it.
I love them both so much. From the morning when you wake up to putting them to bed at night and every moment in between. I think a parent's job is to protect
Okay, we're seeing a little bit of a rebound, which is nice. Just needs to continue back up. Here we go. It's 12:30. Not too far away from that New York Open, so should see some volume start to kick in, ideally.
Unknown of how much can financial assets take.
We have something else in common.
The small caps continuing to feel the pressure.
We seek out the latest business news wherever we are.
The deep drop in Asian equities overnight.
U.S. futures also pointing to the downside.
Bloomberg Radio, the Bloomberg Business app, and BloombergRadio.com. Bloomberg, the world is listening.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than
Just struggling a little bit. Just not what we want to see. We want to see a nice push up.
Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time.
Let's see how things gonna hold up.
Podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com.
But yeah, guys, those that are just joining us on the live, feel free to touch base with us in the chat. More than happy to go through some TA with you. Yeah, also very much appreciate for the likes and follows. Always a pleasure. But yeah, touch base with us in the chat. Let's get it. Yeah, I mean, those that are just joining us, or I mean, probably just waking up if you're from the US. The gold trade this morning was just perfect. Yeah, beautiful trade. Got it just here. Yeah, seeing a little bit of support coming in now, but it just kind of broke through that trend line just perfectly. We literally got in right at the top, played it just all the way to the bottom. Now we're seeing a little bit of a rebound off that liquidity area as mentioned. It's your previous resistance here, turning into new support. So there's a little bit of support here. We'll see how things kind of play out. Yeah, it could very much hold here and come back down. This is kind of your next area for support. But yeah, let's see. Beautiful setups, yeah, beautiful. I mean, that gold trade was just perfect this morning. It really was perfect. Played out just amazingly. Whilst kind of the majority of the market's doing a whole load of nothing, we got some movement on gold, which is always nice. Because, I mean, crypto has been very, very quiet. Very, 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 very quiet. I mean, it was expected anyway. So it was something that we mentioned in yesterday's update. But yeah, it's nice when you capture the actual moves when on quiet days, right? But yeah, that was the gold trade. That was the success of this morning. Yeah, we're just letting it do its thing, really. That was the move. It was just a very nice setup. So we look ahead at some new and fresh setups. Now FTM, FTM we cashed in a little bit of profit, 60% on a short, so a move down to here. It started to stall, so we got out. Now we're seeing a nice rebound off that level. Probably a little bit too late to the party there. It's not the most ideal entry.
With First Republic shares up almost 30%. Wow, that sounds like a lot. They are down almost 90% since March 8th.
Mask, on the other hand, is looking okay. Seeing some nice buy side coming in here, but it really does need to make that break. Otherwise, it's going to search for liquidity further down. But as you can see, I mean, we got a nice price compression here. It could come down to this area, so you just need to be careful. But it could very much also break out. So if you want to play it, if you want to play it a little bit more long term, I mean, just bring your stop loss further down and incrementally average as we get closer, which I think we'll probably end up doing anyway. If things kind of pull down, just because it does look really nice to continue back up. Yeah, just need to be a little bit careful. This buy side here is very nice though, so it does look like we could potentially see another push, and more than likely to actually come past that point. But yeah, we'll see how things kind of play out. I'll get that set up back up. Gold. I see gold buying real soon. Yeah, I mean it's coming off that kind of support level now. We're in long on oil. Oil looks good for a continuation back up. We've added some lots. So one of the lots is in profit. The other one's just coming into profit. But yeah, gold doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look great on the lower time frame. It's coming up to a good buying spot. I've just not seen enough of a reaction from buyers at this area here, just leading me to look at a lower level, which is likely to come in here, in between this area here. So I mean, you could potentially see a continuation in the sellers. So you could potentially get another short position down to this area here. 19th, I go 1938. Just kind of be pessimistic with that target, and just that stop just there. Bam, bam. It's not too bad of a setup, in all fairness. It's just, I mean, that was a very nice kind of push down. Just need to be careful.
I think, Eddie, right now, none of the confidence measures are back to where they were pre-COVID. And for as strong as the economy is, confidence has been very tempered throughout the last year. And right now, to your point, depending on where you look, it does look more fragile. But I think we are going to really see the direction things are moving in over the next month. It's actually the one piece of data this week.
Okay, so we got a nice movement on sushi, right? Yeah, a very nice movement. We're 50% up currently, which is good.
Again, the volume's been turned back up to 11 on that. But if you look at the underlying macro data, it's still really strong, and confidence could be the weak link there.
Excuse me, I'm gasping here over the plate in the Caribbean. Laura, I want to talk about this disconnect.
Alright, I'm gonna move my stop loss to break even here on sushi. May as well just play it nice and safe. Makes sense.
It's over 3%.
Okay.
Really strong. Labor market, really strong. I just want to roll my eyes when I hear people talking about cracks in the economy, because you've got to take out a microscope to really find any sign of significant slowing. And so, can we maintain this? Probably not. But do we slow to something? I have been expecting some kind of slowdown. I don't think that's a bold call. The Fed is aggressively raising rates. At some point, they do usually push.
Yeah, so at least one of the trades is nicely pulling through. Now we've got a decent trend line kind of forming here from this area to this area. Need it to hold. We do not want it to push lower than here, essentially. Hold here, accumulate a bit, and then make that push. Bam. Keep a close eye.
Continued rate hikes are a no-brainer. And I feel like in their statement, they tried to minimize the banking systemic
1937, 1952, 1946. Yeah. Um, yeah, I'd just play it straight there. 1937. 1952 for entry. Yeah. 46. Yeah, 46 is that kind of if you're taking take profits incrementally, that's your first target. 1946. And then if we breach through, probably looking at about 1930. I mean, I'd just place it just above, so 1938. But it could pull anywhere in between there, really. But I'll take my profit early. I'm not interested in capturing the entire move. But yeah, it does look pretty good. Just wanna just see if I need that sell side to come in again. Could still see a little bit of a push up higher. So just need to be a little bit careful. But yeah, let's see. I'm gonna take. I think I'm gonna take my profit here on sushi. To be honest, it's just. Alright, yeah, I'm getting out here on sushi. I'm taking my profit. It's not amazing, but 22%. It's okay. The only thing is, right, is it's very slow movement. I don't like it when prices just kind of range and don't have a decent move. Yeah, get out of that. Let this one brew up.
I think we will get information. I think that a lot of the banks will be talking more about their lending standards.
Just a very, very quiet day for crypto, right? And by the looks of it, I mean, we've pushed straight back into structure now, haven't we? This is still holding okay. Put it back. Okay, let me move that over.
Is the great contrarian call here to say that America will prosper?
For the first for the next 2-3 quarters,
Come on, oil. Give me some movement.
remains really resilient. And I think that the Fed's policy challenges
Come in. Both lots coming into profit now, so
have corrected down so far. I think we're headed back up again. I don't know if we can get back to where we were, but I think especially in the long end, we're headed back up.
Laura, thank you so much. Greatly appreciated with FS Investments. I wanted to cue the American music there. I mean, honestly, the great blown call of a lot of people over the last 12, 18 months who knew a bank crisis was coming, I didn't know it, is not the gloom, but the measured caution on our economic prosperity. I believe I heard Ms. Ram say it's a 3% GDP. Nobody saw that.
You're being all
here we go.
right now. You're basically, America is strong. And look, there are a lot of people who point to this resilience, and this is the tension, right? And this is the tension that Laura Rain was talking about. On one hand, you've got a Fed that doesn't want things to be this strong in terms of growth because that's what's going to cause inflation to keep going. So they're going to keep raising rates if we don't.
Yeah, just gonna have to be a little bit careful here with entering on gold. Could potentially get a bit of a nicer entry higher up. So patience. The oil trade, on the other hand, coming up nicely in profit. Okay, so let's see if we can make these breaks of these previous structures just here. Yeah, as soon as it starts to stall, we'll take our profit and run. But yeah, we're nicely coming in nicely in profit now on both lots that we've entered with. Mask needs to load up and make a move. Yeah, I mean, it's clearly just compressing. As you can see, we're just compressing. So we'll see which way we can go.
West Texas Intermediate, 70.21 in recovery. Torsten Slock at 8:30. Stay with us. This is Bloomberg.
Lisa, protests are swelling in Israel as the prime minister considers his judicial reforms. More from Bloomberg's John Tucker.
As he tries to limit the power of Israel's Supreme Court, President Benjamin Netanyahu fired his defense minister on Sunday for publicly opposing him. It sparked widespread protests.
They closed off the main highways overnight for many hours.
Bloomberg News Israel bureau chief and Middle East senior editor Ethan Bronner.
The airport is closed to outgoing flights. The legal system, the schools, the hospital systems are all on hold.
The controversial judicial reforms could prompt a constitutional crisis. Split the security.
Yeah, the oil trade is looking relatively promising. I think this is going to be the next profit-taking one for today. The commodity space has really just been amazing to trade this month. Yeah, it's always pretty sweet to trade just because it relatively moves quite nicely compared to crypto. So it doesn't deviate too much, which is nice.
At least one person was also killed in Alabama. The storm system also brought more twisters to Georgia yesterday, damaging buildings and downing power.
Could very much push all the way back up here actually. You could actually see a move all the way to about 71.5 if you really wanted to ramp things up. Got decent amount of space for things to move. As you can see, we got very nice structure here. See this? Bam. Nice structure to make a nice breakout. We just need that buy side volume to really start to kick in as well. We're good to go. Crypto, I mean, the way that things are just moving, it's going to be like the odd move that moves the market a little bit between Monday and Wednesday, and then Thursday is when you start seeing a little bit more of a pickup. But yeah, it's just been extremely slow and quiet. Yeah, so if you haven't got patience, then yeah, just stay out until probably Thursday. That's where you get your big data coming out. So that's where the majority of the moves in crypto is going to happen. Yeah, oil's looking good, guys. Looking good.
Subscribe today on Apple, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes.
This time it's different. I don't think we have quite the systemic in the banking system that we did back then. Obviously, the Fed now having raised rates so aggressively does have some ammunition, some dry powder to obviously cut rates and improve the situation. But it's what you don't know that you worry about.
Chris Marangi, with immense experience with the Mario Gabelli, Gabelli Funds, the co-CIO there.
It's a little bit of a pullback, not ideal.
Marangi, you live for the sweat of this, the fear of it that's out there as being opportunistic. John Farrell, Lisa Bramwitz, and Tom Keene, thank you for joining us on a Monday to stagger through the week. Mr. Farrell, on a key assignment. It had something to do, Conte was thrown out of TOTS, and, all of a sudden, I think he's, being interviewed for it, frankly.
I love how he's being interviewed for
Matic doesn't look too bad, still looking very relatively bearish here. Could actually make that break.
Seriously, I think he's over talking to, Conte's out and it's going to be a change team. To that point of Chris Marangi here, Lisa, and I think this is important. Value guys like Mario Gabelli live for fear, except this fear doesn't fear like the previous fears, if I'm somewhat clear on that.
There are enough people who live for the fear that the fear hasn't happened in market pricing. That, I think, is sort of the conundrum that people in equity markets are facing. And so how do you figure out what the opportunity is if the opportunity isn't as good as it would be without all those other people hunting fear?
What we're going to do now is look at the part of the market nobody's talking about because fear sells and cheerleading doesn't. And that is the 12 stocks that are going up, led by Microsoft and, of course, AAPL. And joining us right now, Alex Webb joins us from Bloomberg. Quick take here. Alex, I don't want to talk to you about financial ratios. I want to talk about something slipped under the zeitgeist, but is in your world over the weekend. Bloomberg owns the high ground on Apple rumors. His name is Mark Gurman, and he put out a blistering note over the weekend saying, everybody's got this wrong. Apple is aware of our most requested features. Are we underestimating Apple's dominance and their ability to innovate?
I think it's been particularly interesting if you compare Apple to Google in recent months, where people are suddenly starting to get very skittish about Google's mid to long-term prospects. A combination of ChatGPT, a ChatGPT boosted Microsoft, coming after them in search. TikTok also a place where increasingly young people go to find their restaurant recommendations, and that's a space that Google has owned for a long time. We've realized, therefore, quite how resilient Apple is. The way that they are deeply rooted in people's day-to-day use. People have iPhones, they're highly unlikely to trade those iPhones in. The big threat coming up on the horizon, though, of course, is what is the next generation of hardware that is perhaps going to succeed the smartphone.
What is happening?
Spending a huge amount of money when it comes to smart glasses.
And they have the huge amount of money. I mean, if I'm looking at 27 times multiple back up from 21 or whatever, it's been on a run, like Mr. Nadella over at Microsoft. And what I find, and Alex, away from your mission, I look at United Healthcare with a ginormous bond offering out there. Is this the time where Apple and others with persistent cash flow reload? Apple has 5.1% debt. Every classroom in the world would say Mr. Cook is handling that wrong.
Well, Apple has consistently said for the past 7-8 years they want to be essentially cash neutral. The challenge they have is that no matter how fast they sell debt, they also, practically print money because they have in the order of $100 billion of free cash flow every year. So it's a real challenge actually for Apple to get to that point. They are gradually getting there, but they have sort of.
Right, I'm going to close this mass trade. I just don't like the look of it. I'm going to go short on Matic. I'm just not liking it right now. Give it a little bit. I'll give it a few more minutes, see if anything can develop, but this is looking quite sweet to come down. At least make another prop now.
You're talking about just in terms of the dominance in the industry, but there are challenges as well in terms of their business over in China. I'm curious how much that's sort of preeminent in the concern bucket talking about possible legislation.
It is a significant issue for Apple in many ways. I mean, he met with the Chinese Commerce Minister over the weekend. There was a lot of talk there about the symbiotic relationship between Apple and China. In many ways, Tim Cook is quite an important resource for China when it comes to ensuring that trade remains open with them. Because
Right, I'm getting out of mask, closing it.
trying to bring a little bit more manufacturing into places like India. Far more easily said than done, not least because not just the question of having a factory there, you have to have the entire supply chain. There might be millions of jobs that are supported just making iPhones in China, but then you have all of the components that go into them.
I'll take cut my losses. Quick time on that one.
That are made also in China. Now, you might have the really high-value semiconductors coming out of Taiwan, but a lot of the rest of the supply chain is local to the manufacturing it has there. It's very hard to unpick yourself from that. It is the work of years, if not decades.
How much, Alex, are big tech giants basically pitted against each other in this regime? I'm looking right now at Meta shares. I can't get over the rally that we've seen there. They're up more than 70% so far this year. And I wonder how they're going to potentially benefit if TikTok gets banned, because then they could just perhaps assume some of the traffic. Snap also up on that news. And then
This is your first target, this area here. That's your second one.
considered stayed big tech that rely on China for doing business. How much are they sort of pitting their lobbyists against each other in Washington, D.C. right now?
Well, it is interesting because, of course, when you
See
think
if we
about
can get a nice break. What's
platforms
happening with gold?
like
Okay, so gold's made a little bit of a prop up, which is nice.
of global tech, that you
See if we can continue.
and then a sort of
See if we can hold.
Google and Facebook do not have access to China. There's some cloud business that Google has there, but fundamentally the main search business that drives the lion's share
Have a little look.
isn't in that market. They don't particularly, therefore, count on it for growth. Apple, very, very different. Apple is in and of itself kind of a platform. It needs that market not just to manufacture, but
Yeah, we'll let it do its thing.
it is in a very different situation. One note of hesitation I'd say about Facebook is that when you think about the relationship with TikTok,
The dollar's not making any moves.
in a sense, TikTok can be, in one sense, useful to Facebook because it can say we don't have a monopoly. We have fierce competition in social media. Do not break us up. Do not come for us. Would you rather? And they literally do say this. Would you rather have us or the Chinese? That's literally something that Nick Craig, the president of Facebook, will say. So there's a little bit of nuance in there.
Alex Webb, thank you so much. And again, folks, the path-breaking work of Mark Gurman. Look for it over the weekend on Apple. Mr. Webb, of course, coming from...
Thank you for the follows again.
I really want to frame this, Lisa, and I'll let you do the news here. Isabel Schnabel, not only out of the German Economic Combine, but also out of Berkeley, was the star of Jackson Hole. She came in there, not as a stranger, we all know who she is, but she stopped traffic. The deer, the elk were out in the swamp, stopping, listening to Isabel Schnabel talk about the moment at Jackson Hole. Here she is again, moving markets.
Yeah, basically, Bloomberg reporting, people who spoke with the sources said that Schnabel pushed for the ECB statement to say that more hiking was possible. She basically was more hawkish on concerns of inflation, basically arguing against basically saying that we're done, and really trying to remove any explicit wording, but also to indicate that it was important to be more aggressively tackling inflation. This isn't important because we have continued to hear that same kind of tone coming from ECB members, even as U.S. officials have been a bit more reserved with how much more is required.
And you wonder about dollar breakdown. We're back down to support on DXY. DXY is a major pairs, includes the euro, 54, 56% as well, yen, sterling, and the rest. But the two-day DXY chart really gets you down to a 102 level. We haven't broken down yet, really, have we?
But this is really going to be interesting. Why didn't the euro rally? When you hear all of these hawkish prognostications, Isabel Schnabel basically saying we should guide to a higher rate.
No.
Yet, basically market saying no, you're not.
The news continuing here, and the headline news for those of you on radio and television across America, American banks doing better this morning. Stay with us. This is Bloomberg.
Welcome back to another special Miami Open update for Bloomberg TV and radio from Tennis Channel. I'm Hannah Ryan. PGA champion Elena Rybakina takes her next step in the Sunshine Double Monday when she faces the talented Elise Mertens in Florida. Rybakina's on a 10-match win streak following her dramatic victory over former champ Paula Badosa and leads the Belgian 2-1 don't forget, you can watch all the action exclusively live on Tennis Channel.
Get the news you need
Um,
in just 15 minutes.
not an amazing deal of movement right now.
We spoke exclusively with
We're not too far away from the New York Open, so we should see things picking up slowly but surely. Also, by the way, those that are just joining us on the stream, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good afternoon. Feel free to message us in the chat section with any TA that you want us to go over. Okay, it doesn't need to be crypto, it can be FX, commodities, or equities. But yeah, let's see what we can capitalize on. We are currently in a long position here on oil, and took a short position here on Matic. So yeah, let's see how things kind of play out. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, crypto is just really, really slow. But even this reaction here was so weak, very weak.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still have that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you could do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you are thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Whether you're an in-house counsel or in private practice, Bloomberg Law gives you the edge with the latest in AI-powered legal analytics, business insights, and workflow tools. With guidance from our experts, you'll
Okay, let's go.
you achieve better results. For the practice of law, the business of law, the future of law, the difference is Bloomberg Law. Learn more at bloomberglaw.com.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you.
Yeah, pulse is just compressing.
It was very difficult.
We'll see which way it breaks out.
Even though all these years have passed, I still have that longing to have my diploma. The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma,
See, the dollar does look like it's rebounding off here, and it's going to make that push towards that 200 on the hour. Should make some of these cryptos fall. Okay, we got a new 15-minute, a new hourly candle, so let's see what we can get. Oil looks pretty good. The oil trade does look good, so we just got to be patient with that one. But currently looking pretty sweet.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Broadcasting 24 hours a day at Bloomberg.com and the Bloomberg Business app. This is Bloomberg Radio.
Bank's playbook when there is financial stress, no liquidity added.
I don't believe we have a banking crisis.
This credit crisis is going to be disinflationary.
Those cuts that are priced by the market could be justified, but the conditions that would warrant those cuts would be pretty aggressively bad conditions.
When the Fed tightens,
Yes, oil's now coming in to profit both positions. Let's get it.
nothing broke over the weekend. So we're back to Risk On. We're also back with Tom Keene. He is back from vacation. Jonathan Farrow off. I'm Lisa Abramowitz as we look at a market. And I think you put it well. Why are we seeing
Beautiful. Alright, I'm gonna move my stop loss on oil to break even.
Within the trade crisis that we observed, some of the heartbreaking, I look at Deutsche Bank just on Friday was jaw-dropping, but everything, including Deutsche Bank in Europe, stabilized. And of course, in America, the banks have not stabilized for sure. Advances this morning.
Yeah, and people are talking about this idea that nothing did collapse over the weekend. We didn't see another crisis. We haven't seen any kind of continuation
Come on, give me that push.
In some form of confidence.
And this is sort of the nodes of uncertainty right now. Do you have really hawkish central bankers, or do you
Okay,
have some sort
okay,
of
okay,
crisis that
okay.
causes some sort of pause? I want to bring Seth Carpenter of Morgan Stanley, the global chief economist, over the weekend, coming out and saying, if disruption to the banking sector delays an extension of policy tightening, then a soft landing is still possible. But the downside risks have gotten bigger. The no landing notion never made any sense. Central banks were always going to force a landing one way or another.
I am so fed up. It's like, come on, this started with V-shaped. I remember sitting in the studio with, I don't know, Gura McKee, I can't remember, maybe the late great Ken Pruitt, and we're looking at V-shaped, and nothing stopped from there. And it's just, what's the next phrase going to be? What's the thing out there that the media is going to say is this is the narrative right now? I don't think there's a narrative right now other than survival based on flows of banking deposits.
And that, I think, is what's been playing out in terms of where the fear is right now. That fear seems to have abated. We are seeing a lift in the market. And I do think it's interesting how we were talking with Mike Wilson of Morgan Stanley about seeing opportunity in some of the financial stocks after what we just saw, still led by tech. The NASDAQ still doing better than good, to use your phrase, at a time when people see that as a stalwart of strength.
No, let's look at the data here quickly. Up 0.7% on the Standard & Poor's 500. That's a 4,000 level, Lisa. To me, that is the key thing in the back and forth and the gloom. This is a resilient market led by a few select things, as Alec Webb just talked about.
And today is a divergence from the trend of tech outperformance, where you see the S&P outperforming, up 0.7% versus the 0.4% gain on the NASDAQ. This is driven though by this question around financials leading. You're seeing yields just a bit higher. Again, this is what happens. You see strength, you see stability. People start to price in more rate hikes, I should say. Although just marginally, it was just a slight tilt.
Come on.
Said to me, how'd you get this cough? And I said, it's difficult.
Give me some move.
Punch under the mango tree, and then you go out in the sun, and then the trick is if you go back under the mango tree, that's when you get that.
All right, Matic trade nearly coming up to break even. Okay, where's the entry? 107.9, just there. So yeah, let's see if we can continue coming down. It does look like it. I'm going to take the profit on. I'm going to take the profit on oil. It's just not majorly making moves. I'll take 20 pips. It's all right. It's all good. Very slow movement. Very slow movement.
Lisa Hornby, head of U.S. multi-sector fixed income at Schroders, joining us now. Lisa, I want to get your sense of what's changed. How there's not enough stability in the lack of news over the weekend to go risk on today.
Welcome to those that are just joining us. Okay, we're not too far away from that New York Open. Currently in on a short position on Matic. We just closed. The oil trades is just stalling at this level here. Seeing a little bit of a prop up now, but yeah, just we'll take the profit. Next one in line really is gold. See what we can get here. Potentially see that short position play out. See that continuation back to the downside. Could be a move to keep our eyes on.
People are having sort of this polar experience. It's either a bipolar experience where it's either the banks are collapsing.
But I mean, yeah, it's a relatively dangerous area to be looking at, really, just because that's your liquidity area and it's rebounded off. So it could very much push straight back in. This is kind of its turning point to come back down. If it pushes up any higher, it's probably just going to build up structure to push back up. So yeah, again, we'll keep a close eye on things, but at the moment we'll see if we can capitalize on this short position that we've got on Matic.
You know, there's a huge gap, a huge spread in the views out there, and I think ultimately what that means is you need to be compensated more to take risk. You need
Oh,
more
there goes oil.
embedded
Oil's
risk.
flying now.
Lisa, in CFA level 1, there's a point where
You
you
win some and
invest
you lose some.
accounting asset liability of how bonds are accounted for. And the heart of the matter to me, and the magnitude
What was
of the
the one that I was
impact
looking at?
is held to maturity accounting. Do you at Schroders have any transparency or vision of the true state of held to maturity debt in this crisis, or is it unknown on a Monday?
Well, you're asking me to draw back on a few years here at CFA level 1, but you know, the big banks certainly are regulated to a different degree than some of the smaller regionals that have become known in the headlines more recently, and certainly the size of those books were larger in our view than those of the major, the GSIB, the US GSIBs, and even some of the larger US regionals. So there's a threshold for when those books need to actually be marked to market and when they don't, and what needs to be reported in terms of unrealized losses. So, you know, I guess the bottom line for us is you have to know what you own, and you have to know what is on those on the books of those types of issuers, and this is where credit analysts really
At the opportunity for issuance here, we saw a ginormous healthcare issuance last week. Do you and Schroders think we'll see a lot of issuance out there?
I mean, there's certainly the last couple of weeks. There's been very, very light. So we do think that there's a lot of pent up issuance waiting to come. Markets stay like this, I think we'll see a good deal of issuance. It's interesting. Some of the healthcare issues that you mentioned actually have performed quite well despite all of the volatility. So it does show that there's still a bid for defensive healthcare pharma type names. I think that does tell you something about how the market's going to respond to future issuance as well.
Gold's looking like we're making a bit of a turnaround here.
Advantage of, Lisa. I know that you think that perhaps you need to have greater risk premia, but are there any areas where there's enough baked in that you think this is an attractive moment?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we were fairly defensive coming into this, and so there has been opportunity in our view. Agency
And there goes
opportunity, and I think
Mask.
sector, you know, some of the higher rated senior US GSIBs, I think that we've seen some opportunity there over the last couple of weeks, particularly in the more fraught moments. Some of the higher quality industrials, the more defensive names, as I alluded to with healthcare, there's, you know, the whole market has cheapened. The whole market isn't worth less. There's certainly diamonds in the rough, if you will, and so it's about spotting those. In our view, right now, you still want to err on the more defensive side, generally speaking. We still think there's more volatility to come in credit spreads. You know, we might be in for a little bit of a tactical bounce, as we said here. Market feels a little bit firmer today, and certainly people have gotten offsides and whipsawed with these moves, but there's absolutely opportunity emerging.
Lisa Hornby, thank you so much with Schroders. And you see it, folks, in a 2-year yield, an 18 basis point move, higher yield, lower note price, 3.94%, not up to 4% yet, but there it is. Lisa, I think this is a huge conundrum, and I'm fascinated by the challenge that chief financial officers have right now, and how do you brief, or even more importantly for CFOs, how and who do you listen to about what to do with a portfolio or what to do as a next move in issuance? I don't have any wisdom on that at all.
Well, I think that this is really the conundrum for them, because they're looking out into a black box of whether rates are going up or down, and they're not sure what the borrowing environment is going to be like. So do you lock in borrowing costs where they are, yes, much higher than they were perhaps a year ago, but perhaps lower than they will be in another 6 months? And that's what you speak about, trying to capture a window and lock in what you know at a time of so many unknowns.
And again, you know, United Healthcare is, of course, what I was alluding to, and it's sort of like about their debt portfolio was one of the great surprises of April.
It's the who, though, and this is important.
Yes.
It's the top-rated companies. The market's been pretty much locked for the lower-rated companies, and that, I think, has gotten some people concerned. It has to reopen for there to be the liquidity and the ability to fundraise and have IPOs that people are looking for to keep things going along.
Something to talk about here in the next 45 minutes, also European debt dynamics as well. Torsten Slok of Apollo Group, this is the 8:30 hour. Stay with us on radio and television on this Monday. This is Bloomberg Surveillance. Now to the latest news from New York City and around the world. Here's Michael Barr.
Israel, the major sectors launch surging protest movement against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's plan to overhaul the judiciary.
All right, perfect, guys. Yeah, things have just stored up, so we'll let it just do its thing. Okay. Yeah, we're on a short position on Matic. We'll keep that running. But yeah, I think that's majority of today. Now probably get a little bit of movement. So we'll see how things kind of play out. We'll get a update recorded, sent out again. Remember, no market updates get sent out to TraderView. But we'll come live for another live trading session, depending on market conditions. Later on this evening for a New York closing trading session. But yeah, if we don't see you later on, we shall see you tomorrow morning for a London opening session. But yeah, I mean, a little bit of a mixed emotion day so far. I mean, we managed to pull in some nice trades. So yeah, I mean, it's just crypto really that hasn't been moving amazingly. So yeah, we'll continue keeping our eyes on things and update you guys that follow us where necessary. But yeah, if we don't see you for the rest of the day, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll touch base tomorrow. Thank you very much. Cheers.